Buying a pack of gum or a bottle of water, that ain't creative financing. But whenever you get into creative financing, it opens up another whole world. Why pay what everybody else thinks they got to do? Get creative about it. I just offered a house with owner financing with money down. That's creative. I didn't that you had to go to the bank and borrow the money, come to me and pay me off and let me get all my money and go. I want to help people own something. I'm tired of seeing people rent. They don't go nowhere when they rent. They keep that mentality that they're going to rent the rest of their life because they never can go to the bank and get a loan. Why can't they do that? Well, they don't have any history at it. They don't have, I don't have all the money that they need. That's why they have to go to the bank to borrow something. They might don't have the credit because of things that happened in the past. You just don't know what these situations are. But until you get thinking about something creative, and I'm going to talk to you tonight as if you are those people that are buying. I'll help you with the selling part too. But if you go buy something, if you're going to turn around and sell it, that's what you were talking about a while ago. And this young lady right here sitting on the end, in about 3 months, she's blowing everybody out the water. I can tell you, that woman's thinking. She'll come to our breakfast meeting and all of a sudden, boy, I know how to do that. You know, you mean you can do that? Yeah, we can do that. Because you got to think about the real estate world. Realtors, that right there is the state of South Carolina. Don't look like it, but that's what the real estate, and some of you are realtors, you can understand what I'm saying. That is what the realtors have put together to get the state to approve it, to say that's what they can do. And if you're not a realtor, you can't do that. That's crap. Excuse me. You got to get creative. You got to think about it. You just do it a different way. So an investor works like this, around those creative things, those positive things that they got wrote up. But I want to tell you something. They get a little real wild because they got a bill in the house right now, and you got to call your senator and say, no, we don't want that. Because if you got a piece of property and you want to sell it, with a piece of land, guess what they want you to do? List it with the MLS. How many properties did you buy off of MLS?
0. Well, 1.
Where's Will? Will buys a few.
Used to.
Yeah.
His daughter finds a few. It's amazing how that little young lady got involved in it because she's understanding it. It's grasping hold of what you want to do, how you want to do it. And if you've got, creative deal making. Okay, all right, got me up there. All right, that's good. What was the next?
You want to go to the next one?
Yes, sir.
You just tell me.
Get started.
Okay. Boom.
All right. Okay, creative, conventional versus creative. What's the difference? You go into the bank. That's what everybody else does, right? And some people, some investors, they go to the bank, but they already got a history with the bank. It's almost like that thing, you can't get a job until you already know what to do. It's the same thing. They want you to know everything or be able to prove to them that you can do something because they're going to loan you their money. No, I'm sorry. They're going to loan you other people's money, right? Well, that's what we do. We work with other people's money, but we get creative about it. We don't just go to the bank. I went to the bank the other day, and a while back I was going to buy a healthcare facility, and he said, how much you want? And I said, I want $500,000. He said, okay, bring me 3 years of their best years. I said, okay. I go back, she's got a realtor. The realtor is trying to sell me the house. I don't care, I don't want the house. if I can't get the healthcare facility, the healthcare part of it. Because it was already set up, it's been working. This woman just was winding it down. You know that what the woman wouldn't do or hadn't done because the realtors two realtors in there kept telling me, well, you know, people come by here and they go to the beach. I don't care how many people in the healthcare facility is going to the beach. So I look at it as in the real estate world, the people are trying, they can't understand how to make that thing. More people can be realtors that are investors, that understand investors, than can be realtors. The realtors, then there, some of them can flip. They can change back and forth. I got 2 daughters, a son, and a son-in-law that are realtors. Got 1 daughter out of that crowd, she can do either one. The other 3 cannot make it across the home. But, and actually, the oldest daughter, her and her husband, I helped them buy their first house for sale by owner. They put the sweat equity in the house and got it fixed up, and the owner was helping them all along. All they had to do is make a few payments in there, but they putting all the work together. And if you're doing that, then the person that you're buying the house from, that's the owner, he's still holding the mortgage or the right that he owns that house. You putting the sweat equity into it to get it up, so you better be serious about it, because if you don't finish it, guess who gets to keep it? He does. So that's how we do that in owner financing also. And most of the time, whenever you're buying a house, the person that you buy it from, most probably going to be your bank, if you know how to talk to him. Because what's he going to do with the money? Sir, what you going to do with the money? You going out and buy another house? I sell houses too, you know. Maybe I can help you find what you're looking for, or if you already found it. Oh, well, I really don't need all the money. Am I right? I mean, they just don't, a lot of people just don't understand that. A realtor don't do that. They're there to sell them a house to make 6% interest, which they get actually about 1.5% of that money. Because the other 1.5 goes towards their fees. So you have to study to know what you're doing. You have to talk, you have to learn to work with people. If it's an individual out here that's wanting to just go do his job, and I'm just going to buy this house and I'm going to do it by myself, and I'm not going to have nobody to do nothing, guess what? You might be lucky, you might win. But in this group, this is what Tri-County's investors started 1.5 years ago for, because David and I and Susan and Will have been in a lot of these programs, or 2 other programs before. They started out all about helping the people with education. Oh yeah, we want to do the education. We want to do the education. Yeah, they like that. We like to try to help people. But then before for too long, they want the people, you notice people getting up about every 15 minutes, or last 15 minutes of the thing, it's because they were trying to sell them something. Dan Merrill, you've seen him, he was just in town. He talks about how much money he's made in real estate. He made his off of education, according to his brother, right?
He's in the education business, not the
He's in the education. But we're in the education business, but we don't want your money. We're just trying here to provide. I don't make a dime off of this. If you bring me a deal, or I mentor you, I'm going to make a dime. I'm going to make some money. I'm going to show you how to make money. If you go to college, you get a bunch of books and they throw it all at you, and if you don't study, you don't pass. And if you get out on the street, you can't use it because you don't know how to do it. That's what we want to do, is help you as a mentor. Now, I'll do that, but that's not Tri-County Investors. That's Tommy Rogers. That's what Will Silver just talked about. That's what David talked about. You know, that's what we try to, and it was Tracy Mills in the back there. He got a different program altogether. He does, I mean, he blow your mind with stuff. Doing trust. We got another guy in our group that's what he does. He is one of 3 people with HUD. Y'all heard of HUD before? You know what HUD is? That's a government organization that takes Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, all them other companies' houses that they can't sell, turn them over to HUD. And then as an individual buyer, he can go buy a house. Or as an investor, you got to wait till the individuals can't buy, and then you get a chance at it. But he's in our group, and he does also does notes. How many people in here have bought a note? I've sold some. I haven't bought any, but he's got me excited. Yeah, Tracy gets me excited talking about doing trusts. And he opened up them 5 little bags, and he kept asking me which one of them was the trust.
It's like 3-card money to me.
Huh?
3-card money.
3-card money, that's right. But back onto the conventional or creative thinking. That bank over there, well, I just talked about that a while ago. You either got to have the money, or you got to have the credit, or you got to have both of them. And then you got to have an experience before they start loaning you any amount of money, unless they got a property that you want to borrow money on to get, but they want you to put money down on top of that, and they're not going to loan you all 80%. That's what they're going to, maybe 80. And if you're not new at all, if you all knew it all, then it might be 70% they'll loan you. So that's why we start to think about creative stuff. That big old tree right there, that's just money hanging up on that tree. But you got to get creative to see how to pick it off. So you go to buy a house. Go buy something and you ask the person, well, how much do you want for it? And they tell you, I don't do that. How can I help you? Because this is my business to help him. To help everybody out there that wants to sell their property. I'm a problem solver. I go and find out, listen, shut up talking and listen to what he's telling you. He just told you a way possibly that you can get him to finance it for you till you can fix it and sell it. You might be proud enough of it, you done made up some money somehow else, and then you can pay him off. He might still let you keep on making payments. You're creating another stream of income for somebody, even the person that goes and works on that house. So you got to get creative about how you're going to do what you're going to do when you look at it. And you think about what I can do with something. And there's some other stuff I can tell you about that was down the list there, David. Go ahead. All right, what kind of banks and how many banks is it out there? Every corner you sit on, go by is a bank nowadays, right? Well, what kind of bank is it? It might be a family-owned bank. It might be First Citizen is still family-owned. It was 2 brothers, one of them in South Carolina, one in North Carolina. First Citizens Bank, okay? But it might be a local bank that's been there forever, that old money that's in it, and they got somebody running it. Well, they got a different criteria in those type banks. They might be a little bit more lenient because they know the people. They know a little something about you, whether you're trustworthy, whether you do whatever. They most probably don't even look at credit scores. A lot of people say, well, you know, my credit score is real low. Well, we don't even look at that. Because they go to the board and decide whether they're going to loan you that money or not. You got to give them some good evidence. When you go, you take your numbers and show it to them, and this is where I'm at. This is what I want to do, and this is what I want to borrow, and this is how I can afford to do it. All right, other kinds of banks. There's federal savings and loans. Sometimes they're a little bit more lenient than the local bank because they're using a lot of other money, a lot of government money. You might go to just a savings and loan. They got a different criteria how they're gonna loan you any money. And now we got Spanish banks for Spanish people. Amazed me when I sold one of them. A house, and he said he had the money. And I said, well, where is it? He said, I gotta go to Charlotte and get it. Luckily, it's one in Charlotte, North Carolina. But they can be in another part of the world and send their money to that local bank, the Spanish bank, and they'll send it to wherever they want them to be. Good stuff. You know, so that's another way of connecting in with somebody else. I do a lot of Spanish people.
Are you going to talk about how you sometimes get deals from banks, or is that a whole other?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
I might carry this thing on too long. You might have to cut the lights out on me. But I get a lot of banks to call me. They say, Santa, is there any way that you might call so and so for me? I said, who is this? They said, well, it's such and such a person at such and such a bank, and they got this particular problem, and they don't know how to solve it with a particular customer because they want to help. It's an Army vet or a military vet, and he wants to buy a certain thing, a certain house, and he wants to borrow this amount of money, and his money won't come for a while because he gets just different ways. And this has happened. And they said, we want to really help this man. We want to help him bad. He's disabled. We want to help him. How can we creatively help him? Tell us how we can take it and put it in our banking system and make it work. This has happened to me a lot. And I get really excited whenever my banker calls me and says for me to talk to another banker, or another banker calls me and says, hey, do you do business at First National Bank with Mr. Ron Anderson? Yep. Are you Santa? Yeah. Well, he told me that you might be able to help me. I wanted you to be able to do this. So it gets exciting whenever people depend on you because they don't know how to work creative stuff. And a lot of times it's right there in front of their face and they can't see it because they have never heard of it being able to do that way. It's legal. My wife even asked me, of course, she just had an anniversary, and I did too on the same day this year. So I've been married 7 years, she's been married 28. Both of us have. We got married on leap year, by the way. But she even asked me one time, she said, Tommy, do you actually think that this is legal? I said, let me ask you one thing, woman. How long have you known me? You dated me for 6 years. And you knew me before that, and you're going to ask me that question? I'm really, really disappointed that you actually come up and ask me that question, because I'm going to tell you, if it ain't going to be legal, this boy ain't going to be involved. If I find out that even though I just knew that it would be legal and somebody else put a twist to it that ain't going to be, because they might be in partnership with them or something, I'm out. I've got, at this, doing 31 years of this, I got a lot of attaboys. And you know what attaboys is, don't you? The way you do it is raise your hand up like this right here and then bend it like that. Attaboy, Bubba, you done it. You done good. You helped somebody. But let me tell you, one old crap will knock them all out, and it's going to take about 200 or 300 of them to get back to where you was before for somebody to trust you again. So that's, keep your nose clean, do the deal right, and that's why we here. If you call us, talk to us, come visit with us, be with us, we'll find out how you're doing it. We'll even tear the deal apart in any of these meetings. And if somebody else in this crowd is working that same deal, and we ask that question, is anybody else in here working that? Because we want to help both of you, or two of you, or three of you. And you say, and nobody says anything, and then they go beat this person out on that deal, don't come back. We don't need you. You're greedy. We don't need greed. We got to be able to help each other. All right? So, what kind of mortgage do you want to get? Well, there's a lot of them out there. You got a lot of conventional ones and a lot of paper. And it spells out every little thing on the paper of where that property is, who it is, what it is, how long it's been there, how many people have bought it and sold it before. But then too, you might find some private money. You might want to talk to me. I might own to finance it. And I got my note. I'm going to be just like the bank. I'm going to hold that note for you to finish it. If you don't finish it, I get to get it back. Fair? So you got to work out looking at what kind of mortgage you want to get. You can go get this hard money out there. We got some people in our group that loan hard money. Frank starts out at $1 million. That's commercial. He don't do any residential, nothing else. He does commercial. He starts out $1 million up to $100 million. So he's strong. And he ain't that strong on the money he wants back. But he's also got a group of people that work with him that he wants to make sure you don't fail. Most hard money people, so just because I said hard money is the way to go, and somebody comes up and says, I got hard money, you better know something about that person. Because they'll talk about, well, we want 10% interest, 15% interest, and 4 points. Guess what he just told you? He just added 4 more percent to that note. Most people don't know what points are. Yeah, they just keep it. How long do you want to pay for it? Yeah, well, I want to finish the job. I want to keep it as long as I can. Well, I need 8 points, and I need. You mean you can't do 15% interest? Well, how about 10%? We'll just do 5 points more. So it's 9 points and 10%. Now you're at 19% interest. That's what they're trying to tell you. So you have to look out for those kind of things. We also got a guy, JR, that's in our group, that he was doing private lending for homes, for local 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1-bedroom, single-family homes. A bank, Citizens First, they hired him, paid him more money than he was making, because he was doing pretty good. But you know why they wanted him? Because they didn't know how to work a deal. So they hired him to be able to talk to people like us to see what we need and get the bank to put that in the program to see how they can make it legal in their program. So I mean, we got people that wants to help other people in this group. So, all right. Okay, individual seller, private money, IRA accounts. That's another place to get more money. How many people got an IRA? How many people got a 401k? You can use them. Did you know that? That's one place to get money. Private money. Right back to where we were saying it wasn't a hard money lender or a soft money lender. He might be a little soft money lender, but there's a lot of people out there that won't loan you money, and they get a percentage of what you do. You buy the house, you know the house. They're gonna check your record before you get started. It's hard to get started with them. They might loan you a little bit of money, but when you get into rehabbing a house, you better know what you're doing, and that's why we have the caravan. That's another reason we do the caravan, because we want you to see. Because we got a guy right now that's working with Will. Will's mentoring him, and he's in the flooring business, and Stanley, and he don't mind telling me, because he tells it himself. He said, because all the questions, do you have the money? Yeah, I can get the money. Yeah, I got friends that got the money, and they done told me anytime I need it, come get it. I said, okay, Bubba, that's good. You know, and he's in the flooring business. He sells flooring, and he ought to go out to people that puts it down. And he delivers it sometime, and he got other people to deliver it too. But he got started in this one particular house that he really wanted. And we went on a caravan month before last, and he went around and showed us places that he thought he knew what he was talking about. First off was not a person that he knew that told him that the money was available could come up with it at that particular time, or couldn't come up with it. wouldn't come up with it. They didn't know what he can do. That's part of it. And he got in there, oh, well, man, shucks, this ain't gonna be bad. Yeah, we'll just go to this window right here, and we'll just go, oh, the casing looks good, we'll just, no. You got, talk to Will. Will did the program last month. He told you all about that. Had termites behind it. And you can get real scared when that happens. Mold. But what does mold smell like? Anybody here know? It smells like money to me. It really do. We had a mold eradicator at our meeting this morning. Not something else that a guy does. But you can also do it yourself. But if you use a mold eradicator, whenever he finishes the job, he gives you a okay on that house. Guess what? You can take that okay to the bank, and the bank can say, okay, fine, that's good. Because the bank, if it knew they had mold in it, no, sir, buddy, no, they ain't gonna be interested. You know, so it's people that's in this organization that wants to help people, and we got them here with you. All right, you get individuals, that private money is individual people that wants to loan money. That's another stream of income you've helped somebody create. Might be 5 or 6, you can do it up to 20, 25 or 28 people will, instead of being in a securities. You can get 10, 20, 50, 100, 10,000, 100,000, and then everybody shares, gets something out of it. Or an individual that's got the money wants to do that. Now, there's the individual seller or the private money, either one. Oh, wow, excuse me, it was so high on the top, I didn't see. What does OPM stand for, anybody? Huh? Other people's money, that's right. You've created another stream of income.
We got a smart crowd tonight.
Yes, sir, I love that, I love to hear it. All right, what else are we gonna do?
Hey, Bobby, one thing on the IRAs, I would encourage everybody in here that doesn't have one to get one.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's another source of income or money, their own money that they can use, depending on how much and they can join with other people with IRAs.
Right.
And pool their money together.
Right.
So it's another whole subject, don't want to get off on that, but, come see me or Susan or anybody in here that has.
Yeah, Equity Trust will be here this year too, most probably, because they come and do programs for us, and that's one of the ways you can do that. Going around, how do you go around conventional, and why would you do that? I just explained a little bit of that a while ago. Why would you don't want to use the conventional way of doing something? Right back to other people know you, trust you, see what you can do, know your history. You got credit, you got the money, this kind of thing. That's the real conventional. I mean, if you go into how you go around conventional, that's the people that are conventional. Another thing is, and why? Why would you want to do that? Well, you might just want to do that because you want to help somebody in your group. Really, inside, you want them to help yourself. That's good thinking. Yeah, because you get somebody that can help you do something, and they might know where the money's at. And then all you got, and actually that's what Will did for Stanley. That helped him. That's why he got into it, because he knew where to go with it. He got people that trust him. They don't know Stanley. They getting to know him because a lot of people go in there and looking at him. He tells them exactly what happened, and he's doing a good job. And he may make a little bit of money, Will said, but not money that Will's used to. All right, what's next? Got any questions on that?
Mobile homes.
Mobile homes.
Before you go on that, Santa, let me add it up with something about the convention.
Okay.
Something that just happened to me this week.
Okay.
I'm looking for money to build do a project. It's It's a lot of money for me. It's over $2 million. And somebody referred me a different lender referred me his friend to me. So we went through all the information, the project information, all, and he asked me to send my numbers. I sent all my numbers, and the last thing that he asked is for me to fill it out. I think it's a 1033 loan application. And I went directly to him and said, listen, if you want to do this conventionally, let's not waste our time, because my credit sucks, and I hide money. So on my income tax, you don't want to see nothing. Nothing that would excuse a $2 million loan. You know what he told him? Know about we might go around that. So the thing is, when you go and think conventional, and you can do that, but it's always going to be hard. And what Sandy is teaching about creating financing, that is the key if you want to be an investor. And guess what? The guy going to loan me over $2 million in loan, and he never asked my social security number. So that's what an investor does, you know. I mean, you might can go through the banks and fill out your loan application, or you can talk right and give the information that the guy wants it, the person wants it, and go around all this head. You have an idea how much time did I save by not going through the conventional time? And money. So, right there, I just cut my brokerage fee, which is 5%. How much is 5% of $2 million? It's a lot of money. So right there, I just cut that. I cut all the BS that going on, documentation go back and forth. Now, I went straight out to him and said, listen, if this is the way you want to do it, let's not waste our time, let's move it on. And right quick, he come and send me email and saying, we might be able to go around that, don't worry about it. So, the last thing that he asked me was my financial statement. I sent it, and I got approved of this afternoon. So, creating finance is very important if you want to do this kind of business.
Thank you, Will. That was good. Yeah, Will and I get creative sometime on our own properties. Even though we done got creative in buying it, getting it ready to get sold, we still get creative about how we're going to sell it. You know, sometimes didn't even know he wanted to sell it. He got to tell somebody, because somebody in here wanted to sell something. And he advertised it last month, and I sold both of them, right?
Yeah.
And we thought the man was jerking us around, but he really wasn't jerking us around. It was miscommunications. But he actually paid $3,000 more than what he would have paid 6 months ago.
Yep. Just for play. You know, people, that's unbelievable people. People think that, you know, everybody wants to save a buck. So everybody wants to try to negotiate. But I would not lost a deal for $3,000. If the wholesale is asking for $3,000 or $5,000, if the deal is good, I mean, you cannot be greedy to lost the deal for $3,000 if you're going to make a third. I mean, it's insane. So a couple of months ago, I was selling the property for $40,000 piece. It was two parcel land. He didn't buy. He tried to break me up and break my price, and I kept and said no. So last month he bought the same property, $10,000 higher. How that can happen? It's, I mean,
Salesmanship a lot.
yeah. I mean,
Creating
$40,000.
demand.
He paid $45,000. He paid $45,000. He could bought it for
He paid 48,
6
yeah.
months ago. 48. There you go.
48, yeah.
More than 10,000. And you know, it's how people think. I mean, you just need to stick on your numbers. And something else, I'm sorry, we just went thinking, added up stuff so y'all can learn. Have you all heard of option to buy? Option to buy, everybody know what's option to buy? Alright, option to buy, it's when you put an option on a property or piece of property to buy 6 months later or near later or whatever. But you have to give some money as a down payment. So here we go. I sold this property. Now I didn't have a chance to go and look for a buyer. I knew somebody. I'm sorry, Susan. That one buy that particular property. Actually, the same guy, you know. And so when I told the saying, let's sell this property to this guy, and I went and I found another property in a better location, which is Goose Creek. Right? It was 4 lots. The guy want to sell for $25,000. I negotiate for $20,000 a piece. But guess what? I bought the first piece, and on my contract I was saying, by buying the first piece, I want to put an option to buy for 4 years on the other 3 lots. And he accepted. What I just did, I bought the property with no financing, no money, no nothing. So guess what? I can build one, sell it, build the next one, sell it, build the next one, sell it. So I didn't need the money to buy the other 3 properties. I just put the clause on my contract and he accepted. So creating financing, you know. So
You won't get anything if you don't ask for it.
yeah, I mean, don't give, you know, many times people say, oh, they'll never accept that. Yesterday I have a long conversation with my manager on my assisted living facility because she said, oh, the government would never give you a finder's fee or not a finder's fee, what they call a initial fee. And I say, that's fine. I know they will pay because they need to place this lady, they have nowhere else to go. So send the email, and she said, no, I don't want to send the email. And I say, listen, you're my friend, but at this moment, I'm going to become your boss. Go ahead and send the email. And she sent the email. This afternoon, she called me and you don't want to believe. What? They accepted. I said, well, you don't get it if you don't ask it. You know, you don't get it if you don't ask it. So never get scared to ask for something. I mean, if they say no, that's fine, but at least you ask it, you know. Go ahead, Sam.
You're good. Yeah, I mean, in our minds, we think in conventional. We don't know. We don't know what we don't know. I'll put it that way. You don't know what's thinking of that person. A while ago, I said, shut up and listen. When you talk to him, tell him you have an interest in buying his property. Shut up and listen to him. Because the next person that talks is losing. I can tell you that up front. That's the way I look at it in buying. If he tells me if he gives me a price, it might be less than what I was going to pay for it. Yeah, I don't know. So I got to sit there and listen to him, and like I said a while ago, I might say, well, do you need all the money at one time? Would you give me an option on it? Would you do this? Would you do that? I might ask him 20 times different ways of how he would sell me that property. Now, if I already got it sold to somebody and I know I can make a profit on it, yes, sir, buddy, I don't want to take a chance of losing it. Because I got David to buy it, or Will to buy it, or Susan and Steve, or somebody will buy it. If I know that they are. And we have, in this group also, we got a deal we're working in Johns Island. And there's 3 of us been trying to help negotiate this guy that can't accept that he's going to lose it. He just cannot accept that yet. It's in his heart. He's going to lose if he don't take some of these options that we've offered him. And then even at the end, he called me, well, I talked to so-and-so, and I don't know what he wants to do. And I sit there and listen. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Listening. And then we mentioned at the meeting, and Tracy says, well, if he don't do it your way, call me. So we got another option to go at. Okay, all right, buying and selling and why?
Yeah, you want, mobile homes could be a whole darn meeting on itself, you know? but
Oh, yeah.
You wanna do mobile homes? You wanna skip
Yeah,
it?
I'll go ahead and do the mobile home right now, real quick on that one. And then we'll make that a whole
We're gonna do
meeting.
a whole meeting on mobile
Yeah,
homes.
because there's so many different ways. There's so many different ways you can buy something. There's so many different ways you can sell it. There's so many different creative ways that you can make that piece of property appear to be a diamond in the rough or gold nugget. You never know what fits somebody's mind, so don't try to know everybody to know that they think just like you think, because they don't. That's why they got so many different kind of churches. I don't like that minister down there, but I love this one. You know, or I really like the way the people talk to me at church. Well, I want you to have that same feeling you like people here, because we are trying to help you. I ain't trying to take nothing from you. All right. But in mobile homes, I love them. Reason for why do I love them? I want people to own something. We need more affordable housing, and guess what? Everybody, the city of Charleston, Dorchester County, Berkeley County, every one of them will tell you the first thing that comes out their mouth is, well, we need affordable housing around here. I got a man that's got 19 acres sitting right beside a house I just bought and put on his property. He's got 19 acres. Everybody else in that group that mingle with the right people in Berkeley County, they can put everything they want to on 4,000 square feet of land. They want him to put up 9. He just ain't in the clique. But I talked to somebody today that's in that clique that said, well, man, I ain't heard that before, so that would be great. Because he just wants to put the people like Mount Pleasant. How many people live in Mount Pleasant that work in Mount Pleasant? Nah, can't afford it. How many people work at Nexon in Somerville that can afford to live there? Can't do it. You got to get a whole room full of people to come up with a bill. But so I want to help mobile homes, a most affordable way for somebody to live. It's the most affordable way that I can buy them, rehab them, sell it to them, own and finance them to where they can get a house that they want. So therefore I'm creating affordable living. A lot of people got a lot of things about mobile homes. Yes, they used to be called wobbly boxes years ago. But guess what? I got a 1962 single wide with a slide out on it, looks like a camper. It's a wind zone 2. We got to have a wind zone 2 in this county. I didn't know back in 62 or 65 that they classified them. It must have been a high-dollar house. That's all I got to tell you. But it's in excellent shape. You ask that family that lives in it. They do it. They keep it up too.
How much is that sending you every month?
Huh?
How much mailbox money is that every month?
Well, I give them the house for them to fix it, and I sold them the land, and they pay me $500 a month. But I owned the land, it was free and clear. I built a subdivision, and I had 3 lots left. Can you make any money at mobile homes? Yes.
Can you make a lot of money in mobile homes?
Yes. The most money I ever made off of one mobile home in my 31 years of doing it, I made $198,000 off that one house.
Give him a round of applause.
And guess what? People was tickled to death. They're the 5th family that lived in it. That's how I was able to make that. You can lead a horse up the water, but you cannot make them drink.
And you didn't have to kick a single one of them out, did you?
Not a one.
They all left on their own.
Yes. One of them brought me the key. It was 4 months left on the note. asked, I said, what is this? What happened? Oh, we want to move to Moncks Corner. I said, well, you in Somerville, you ain't but about 13 miles from where you want to move in Moncks Corner. Well, my husband, he works over there at the thing at Mount Pleasant there where they load the cars. Well, he was working there whenever y'all started with me. Yes, sir, but I'm going to be going to work in Moncks Corner. I said, so you want to move to Moncks Corner where you don't have to drive very far, and then he's going to make him drive further. Is that what you're telling me? I don't know. I'm trying to help them understand why would they want to leave to do that. They said, but if we got a house in Moncks Corner that we can work with you on something, that we'd be glad to buy one from you because you've treated us nice. You have tried to help us. But we just got to move. Some people just got that mentality. That's what they want to do. So
they almost owned the home and they gave up owning the home to
like 4 months owning it. That's what I told them. I kept telling them that you ain't got 4 more payments. If you don't finish those 4 more payments, could I give it to them? Yeah, I could have. But that ain't what you've taught them. You taught them to pay on time.
And they wanted you to sell them another house in Moncks Corner.
Yes.
And start all over again.
Yes. I did give them credit on that one though. My heart was in the right place. I couldn't not help them. I mean, they got a good deal to be able to help them. But that's what manufactured housing, and people today, we had a new guy in our group today at breakfast, and he said, them trailers. I said, sir, wait a minute, hold the phone. A trailer is something that you pull behind an automobile. A mobile home, you move with a truck, and you have to have approval to be able to do that. With my little old farm trailers and my trailers, I don't have to get no permission from nobody. I can hook up to them and go at any time. You move one of them, you got to have a permit, you got to know who the mover is, you got to have all that stuff. So, I mean, but that's a home, a manufactured house. They're built inside of a building. Ain't no bad weather hit the inside of that house. I can tell you that right up front. That wood was laying right there, and they put it, and it will last. If people take care of them, they will last. I got some 80 model houses. I got this solid as a rock, that kind of thing. But David,
I was gonna say we got time for one more slide, and then Will's got to do his.
okay, all right.
We got the perfect slide right here. No money down.
That's right. No money down. You don't believe we were like a band of gypsies out in the street. I'm serious. David had talked to the family about this house, and she was fixing to lose it. Right?
So they were selling it.
Within a few days of going to pay off the tax.
They were selling it to us. This is the seller I was talking to.
Yeah, the seller, but that seller was going to lose it on the tax sale.
Correct.
Yes.
Over $300.
Over $300.
$296 to be exact.
We paid her. We can't go up there and pay your tax bill. If it's been sold at auction, it's a year later, all the money is added onto it, whatever. We can't go down there and pay that. I can't go pay your bill. I can't go pay yours. But if David, yeah, I want to stay legal. If David had bought it at the tax sale, why would it be fair for me to go to you and get you to go to pay off? I give you the money to keep you from losing it, and I give you some money for doing that to me. And she wanted us to have it. So we give her the money. She went and paid the county. They got it. We turned around and it was full of stuff. Now, yeah, and a tree had grown through at one end of it, on the other end. We figured we'd fix that, no problem. And we put that out there, and it was probably, what, 10 people come up? Cause he'd advertise, we'd be there at a certain time, and that many people come ready to buy it, and the people was waving money, they was willing to do it. They give us $8,000 for it, right?
Yeah.
And
That's just for the-
they fixed it,
That's just for the mobile home.
just for mobile home.
And then the land came up for sale.
That's right, they was wanting to buy the land.
And it really wasn't for sale.
No. David went over there and talked to him, because some people can do some things about some things, you know. And David had, wait, but I heard what David said, so I said, David, can I go talk to him, right?
Yeah.
I went over there and I kicked around in his garage, I handed him wrenches and talked about different things. I said, how about some of that land, man? I really need it. I really need it. If people want to live right there, they don't want to move the house. He did. We sold it for 40.
We got it for 10,000. The piece of land for 10,000.
Yeah.
We got the contract for 10,000. Give me a second.
Yeah.
All right. So we'd already just sold the mobile home that was on top of the land. All right.
$8,000.
And then the land underneath it, we got it under contract for 10,000. All right. So then we took this contract and took it to our closing attorney, and then we said, all right, well, the people wanting to buy it, we said, well, we need at least 10,000 down, and we can work out the payments with you for the rest. So they brought us the 10,000, which we put in place that went directly to the seller. So that's the no money down part. And then the payments have been going on for a lot longer than I ever thought they would go on for, but they just keep coming in. So anyway, it's in the end they're going to pay $42,000 for that, and that's a no money down deal.
So y'all seller financed the land?
Yeah,
Oh, snap.
yeah. So we bought.
They couldn't pay
I
for it all at
didn't
one
know
time.
you could do- I mean,
Yeah, that's an example of creative financing.
And it was below market price in that area. We sold it for.
All right, thank you, Santa.
Thank y'all.
And Santa's got story after story after story after story like that. And I mean, I'll be driving down the road with him, and he'll say, pull over here. He'll go in the front door and come back out, wad of cash, and says, yeah, I've been meaning to stop by and pick up rent for a little while there. Just story after story. So hang out with him long enough, and something will rub off onto you. All right, okay, so I would like to bring up Mr. Will Silva, our residential care facility expert. Is this going to be our topic tonight?
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, good. I saw it on your slide.
All right, this is a bonus section. We did not advertise that because let me see.
Press the button.
I think I have to press this right here.
It's the next one.
Huh?
I think it's the last one.
This one?
I think.
Nah. Oh yeah, it is. Man, you're the man. That's what's up. All right, guys, this is a bonus, okay? I did this so guys know different way to make money. Now, this business, it's more than making money. This business is a heart. You know, it's something that I always have been dreaming with. It's to deal with seniors. So my background is that when I was a kid, I never played with kids at my age. I always was with my father's friend. So when the kids on my age was play with bicycles, I was driving cars. So I was always with people way older than me. And my father's the same way. He always was with the people older than him. So I ended up loving to deal with seniors. So a couple of years ago, I went to looking to buy a facility, a assisted living facility. Does everybody know what is assisted living facility? All right. And the lady was nice, was a Vietnamese lady. But when I stepped inside of the facility, the smell was so bad that I turned back. And I said, thank you very much. This is not something that I would like to buy. So I went to the second facility, same thing happened. Went to the third facility, same thing happened. And I said, you know what? I'm going to start one from ground up. And it was the worst mistake that I've done in my life. All right? And I'm going to tell you why. So, this is a facility that I started from ground up. All right? Why was the worst mistake that I did in my life? Because for you to start from ground up, you have to be up to code to the day that you start your application. Now, if the code on the facility change, you need to change the whole thing. With that, I ended up changing my plans 3 times. 3 times. So a process of 90 days ended up being a year and a half. Year and a half. So that's why I'm saying it was my worst mistake. But I'm not mad about it. I kept going and I got it. And I got it the right way. Alright, so I used to live on this property and I turned into a residential care facility. What is a residential care facility? Let me see if my thing working here. Vincent, come on, man. You messed me up
Hey,
already.
no, it's on slideshow.
You gotta hit the space bar.
There we go. A residential care facility for elderly in residential areas. A living arrangement in which people with special needs, especially older people with disability, reside in a facility that provides help with everyday tasks such as bathing, dressing, and taking medication. A residential care facility is on the residential area, does not need to be converted to commercial. Alright? So, a residential care facility in South Carolina can be licensed for 5 beds only. In Florida, it's 6 beds. So we call that the magic number. The magic number in Florida, California, Arizona, in other states is 6. In South Carolina, it's 5, unfortunately. Alright? So why did I choose a residential? Because I would love to place my father or my mom on a residential area where they can call my house. My address is 8567 Royal Palm. My house is 1131 Baxter Street. Not my house. I don't have a house. I live on a big commercial building. So I like the residential care. It is, you will make less money than a big assisted living. Alright? But that's my goal. Alright? That's my goal. So I'm this to make money, yes, but my dream is bigger than making money. Did everybody understand what I mean? Alright, now if you wanna do a big facility, that's fine. But I might think it's just 5 or less. Alright? So that's what a RCFE means. A residential care facility for elderly. Alright? Man, this thing really messed me up. But that's fine. Why this is a good strategy? The United States has a growing population of senior citizens. In fact, statistics show that by the year of 2030, 20% of the population will be over the age of 65. Where would they want to live? On a commercial building or residential building? Alright? Why would they want to live on a care facility? And why would they want to live on, did I just double that? Should be a residential care facility. Alright? So the why is obvious. You know, I'll prefer to put my parent on a residential area. Alright? So now is the difference between the facility. Once again, a residential care facility is in a residential area. A nursing home, it's larger, it's commercial, and provide a nursing care. All right. A assisted living facility also is larger, also is commercial, but it's less care. All right. For example, if you have your mom or your daddy, and they don't need much care, but they cannot deal with their own medication, so they need less care. But if they on the wheelchair, they have bowel movement or whatever, then they need better care. But now sometimes they are tube feeding or whatever, and then they need to go to the nursing home. So for these two plus the residential care facility, the regulation is different. All right. So the residential care, which I do, does not need a much regulation. Am I clear to everybody?
Yeah.
Doesn't need a much, doesn't have a much regulation. So by law, we cannot accept nobody that's tube feeding. All right. We can't accept somebody with a wheelchair, but I prefer not. All right. So that's the difference, right? Everybody understand it? All right. So what we provide in our facility, we provide a room, a supervision, help with daily living, a cook, 5 meals a day, which is 3 meals and 2 snacks, a cleaning place. That's a plus right there, guys. Cleaning place. My place smells good, and I am funny about the smell. Now, anytime that I get in my facility, if I smell something's wrong, somebody gonna get my attention. You know, we do the laundry, we do the activities. The activities that we provide, we just take them everybody to the senior center, that they can play cards, they can do it, they can go to the pool, they can exercise, they can talk to other seniors. So we're providing them a living that probably the family members will not be able to do it if they live with them. All right?
So you're selling a package?
I'm sorry?
You're just not selling where they are living, you're selling a package?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, we're selling as a package, but the law tells us that we have to provide that.
Oh.
But unfortunately, not everybody does that. You know, the activities could be, this is tricky now. The activities could be watch TV. Would you like your parents to watch TV all day long? So that's where the difference between you and others come. You know, my facility, first of all, it's brand new everything. Brand new countertops, brand new mattress. If anybody that comes into my facility, they have a brand new bed. That does not happen around. Believe me, that does not happen around. They have a brand new bed, brand new mattress, brand new towel, brand new sandals, brand new shampoo. They all have their own shampoo, and it smells good. You know, so the people that come on my facility, they really live. That's what I created this. All right. Strategy and what to do with the properties. So this is the changing that we need to do on a residential care facility. All right. If you buy a house right now on a residential area, for you to turn the same house on the residential care facility, this is what you need to change. You have to add the wheelchair ramp. The doorways have to be changed. It's a little bit different. You have to have a sufficient room size for everybody. That's required by the government. You have to have railings in everywhere, including bathrooms. You have to child-proof. Why is that child-proof right there? So nobody run away. So we have to put some kind of device. If somebody open the door, everybody gonna know what's going on, and you know. So that's why the child-proof device is there. Fire alarms and fire extinguishers and fire sprinklers, which ain't cheap. It's not cheap, all right? Exit signs And bathrooms. Bathrooms I put in there because of the size of the bathrooms is different. All right. For example, on the toilet. Listen, I can be over here with you guys tell about these things because I know this. I know this book from one side to the other. That's how bad I have to deal with that. Anyways, the bathrooms, for example, the bathrooms around the toilet needs to be 5 feet. So the bathroom needs to be completely redone. All right. So this is some of the stuff that needs to be changed. It's way more than that, but I just put the majority ones over there. All right. I want to be quickly. How much money? That's what everybody's around, right? About, right? A lot. You can make a lot of money. But before going to money, let's do this. The first house that I show you guys was my house. I moved my family to somewhere else and it started the process. I spent $80,000 on renovation. Sounds a lot? It is. You need to have a heart for this. You're going to spend some money. Sprinkler system, just the sprinkler system, 15 grand. Not financing. It's cash. So that's what I mean. You need to have a heart on that. How much money can you make? I put over there right quick the expenses, what you're going to spend, and how much money. All right, my facility is all private pay. All right, all private pay. Now, can you do a Medicaid? Yes, you can, but unfortunately, Medicaid don't pay much. So my facility is all private pay. For I'm putting the example, I didn't change this from the last presentation that I gave in Florida. So this is Florida numbers, all right? For example, on the residential care facility, the only, you can have maximum 6, I put over the 5. I'm sorry, this is South Carolina numbers. Florida number will be different. Only 5. Each one of the residents going to pay $3,500 for all that I told you. All right, that's what they pay. $3,500 a person. All right. Now, would you prefer to spend 80 grand to rent the house for $1,200 or rent the bed for $3,500? Now, this is not the work that you have to do on the residential care is $10,000 more, but it's $10,000 more than you get paid. All right. So, 5 beds, $17,000 a month. That's you make gross. All right. Now your expenses. I have to detail that more. I didn't detail the expenses, and we just don't have the time for that. But I put the majority expenses there, which is the debt service. If you have a mortgage on the property, that's what you pay. This is the average. The food service, how much you're gonna pay a month, utilities, how much you pay in advertisement, employees, how much you pay on administration, how much you pay on licensing, and the total expenses. And the profit will be around $8,000. It's a good profit. It's an amazing profit. In one particular house. Now think about if you have 10 of those. All right. The problem is getting in the first one. After that, it's easier. All right. So it is a lot of money. It's a lot of money for you to put it in, but on the end of the day, you get to pay. And it's way better than you rent the whole house for, I don't know, $1,500 or $2,000. All right. And you provide a better care for people in need. All right. It's a lot of more stuff on this, guys, on advertisement. For example, I can give a whole night class on advertisement because it's a lot of people that unfortunately lie about it, the seniors. You know, if you go on this association like this, they only talk about seniors. If you look at everybody's face, everybody's saying that they dare to help seniors, but it's a lie. Everybody's falling for the money, and I can prove that. I have seen that, and so it's a lot into this. So I bring just the main numbers and the main presentation for you guys to have an idea. All right. There's a strategy. You can sell the house as a business. You can sell a finance, create a finance, and sell to somebody. If you're making $8,000, would you be okay to get $2,000 The other person will be take the 6 if they're gonna take all the responsibility. I'll be okay, right? If you wanna retire, take it $2 grand and I give a 6 to the other person just to manage. Owner financing. You can sell as a single family home. Now the house is worth more because all completely sprinkled, it complete accessible. So you're gonna probably make a 20% more on the price of the normal house, just because of those things. Or don't sell unless you make a lot of money. I would never sell my facility. I love my people, I love my seniors. You know, I love when I go there, everybody say hi. I take them on my job sites with me sometimes, and let them go around the houses and remove the trash. Make sure, I love to see that they living and doing something, you know? So that's why I do that. Yeah, it's a good money, but it's more for the heart, all right? Anybody have a question? Yes, sir.
I'm just going to ask as far as, I always see on television all the bloodthirsty lawyers talking about nursing homes and everything. Do you have to carry like a ton of insurance?
General liability could be one, but you don't have to care because you're not providing no medical. You're not providing no, I have a doctor that come to my facility, but I'm not providing the doctor care to them. You know, it's a third party. I just have a general liability and workers' compensation.
What type of, so can you take a single family residence, zone single family residence, and turn it into one of these care facilities?
You can.
Okay, so it doesn't have to be multifamily zone?
No.
It doesn't have to be an existing duplex or anything like that?
No. Now, you can, but they don't like to do it, all right? This is North Charleston area, I have to kind of guide them how they can do something for me. It's hard, but they feel it.
Also
you know?
the HOA, right?
Yeah, it's HOA might be a problem. I would not do it in an HOA area. You know, it's more problem, it's more work to do it.
You tried that, right?
I tried that and I make it. I did try. I win the case, but I had to deal with lawyers and all that stuff. And if I, like I said, if I knew better, I would not do that. But I would not recommend nobody doing HOA area. Yes, ma'am.
This is something I've actually been researching because my mom, she's about 70 years old, and I found the same thing that we're talking about. It's just hard to find affordable housing. Under the National Center of Aging, it talks about if they're 62 or older, where you can get assistance through the government for the monthly as far as the expenses. Is that something that you would consider as far as going into, or?
No, because if your mom, if you're looking for government assistance, they would only pay, if you go through Medicare, they only pay the 13 or 14 something, but you have to return some money back to the resident, ended up being about $1,300, and I cannot provide a good care like this to a senior that only pay $1,300. It's impossible.
So that wouldn't be an option that you would as far as?
Yes, ma'am, unfortunately,
Okay.
yes, ma'am. Now, on these bigger facility, I'm sorry, sir. On these bigger facilities, out of the country, you can still find places to put it on as a Medicaid person, but in Charleston area, it's really hard. Nobody's doing that.
For a particular put it, but as far as an option, is that?
Yeah, you have the option to do it. It's just harder to find a place for it. Yes, ma'am. It is option for that. Go ahead, sir.
Just a couple minutes left. It's almost 8:50.
All right. Who got a question, sir? Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say, if you bring in the Medicaid, you bring more regulations.
Yes, you bring more like regulation. Exactly. All right, guys. This is just something for you guys to see as an extra option to make some money. This is my passion. This is something that I do. I started one, today I have 3. So, and I'm looking to purchase 2 more probably in this year. I'm already on the negotiation. So it's a great business to be in. When you get your foot wet, it's easy to go. All right, thank you guys.
Thanks for our speakers, Mr. Will Silva, Mr. Santa, aka Tommy Rogers, and lots of good topics and a lot of topics that we could really go into, as you can tell. So we're gonna pick. I'm pretty sure we're gonna do mobile homes at some point. That's a given, and then. You know, we're always open for suggestions because we want to crowdsource. We want what you guys want as well, and so don't be afraid to talk to one of us and tell us an idea. Or if you have somebody who you think is an expert in a particular field that's related, then we'll get them up here for, or him, her up here for the whole time, or 10 minutes of one of the meetings or whatever. And, you know, we can all kind of work together to bring the best value for everybody. So I know there was a discussion of maybe a pest control type of presentation that could, you know, be 15 minutes or 30 or whatever, however many minutes. So so bring some ideas forth, and we appreciate you coming out. Thank you, Susan, for coming out and running the table, and Emily and Vincent and everybody for helping out. And we're gonna break the room down. If you have an idea that you want to help us, you can put some chairs back. And but I really appreciate you coming out. Networking time. We do need to be out at 9, so we got plenty of time. And you know, but they do like us to kind of shut the door, and it's 9 o'clock. They're staring at the watch, so that's why we started finishing at 8:15. We were going to 8:30, but we were, you know, under the gun a little bit to get out of here so quick. So anyway, we got plenty of time to network, and then just be watching the clock, so we're all out of here. Room's cleaned up, all the stuff's out by 9. So, all righty, thank you.